try to make sure we have a system ready to go before we start our plaster, especially the finished plaster. All right, we don't want to have to go back and chip the finish off. All right, so we got our screen sand, right, ready to go. We got a bunch of it. If we start to run out and it seems like we need more, we'll have some crews go over, bring some more back, okay? It just depends on how fast you guys are moving, all right? So we have right here, this is our Portland cement. I will say some of this, you find chunks in it. If the chunks break like really easy, it's probably fine. Okay. But if moisture has gotten to this, then it's already gone through this chemical process and it's trash. Okay. It's been open for a long time. It's trash. It's just sucking in the moisture from the air. Okay. So try to plan that out where you get it as close to when you're going to use it as possible. Okay. Got our mixer. I'm going to try to talk as much as I can before turning this thing on. So, it's very, very loud. It's a very old mixer. You can tell I've been through a lot. Usually that's round. No, someone gets mad at it, okay, and like they just keep hitting it and hitting it. And
it's from the Civil War, right?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Hang out. We have a little thing that we usually put down here, like a little board, to help keep the angle a little bit higher. Otherwise, it tips down. Like this part is angled down more, and it doesn't mix well. All right, so you might have to adapt your mixer to like have the right level. Okay. You don't want it to spill out, but you want it to come up and then fall. All right. It's been a little while since I bought a mixer. Usually they go for like around $350, maybe it's $400 now. Okay. Make sure you get one with decent supports underneath the barrel or made. The old one has lasted us a long time, but if there's too much weight in this, it'll snap right here. A lot of them will have like little wheels or something down here that will help support it. Okay. So we've kind of set up the site so that we have a wheelbarrow, so that once we're ready to plaster, which we're going to be plastering over there, we can just take these, fill it up with our mix, take it over, and it's not in our way, right? This is our mix. We have it really close to our mixer, so someone can just be dumping it in there right away. Someone else could be filling up the buckets as we go. The cement is the most dangerous part for you. Typically, I would recommend having a dust mask for this. I'm not going to use a dust mask. I'm just going to hold my breath and dodge it. That's because I'm trying to talk to you guys too, okay? If I'm doing this all day, I want a dust mask. At least a bandana, but like, you want a dust mask, okay? Let's see. Our wall has been hydrated. We have some 5-gallon buckets over there with water in them and some sponges. That's so we can keep hydrating our gloves, keep hydrating our tools, hydrate the wall, whatever. Okay, like we have to make sure we can adapt our mix as we go. There's a bunch of buckets over there on the ground that we're going to use for just like scooping the plaster up so that you guys can have your own bucket. And you know, like, we'll take the wheelbarrow over there, but everyone can just like grab a bucket, take it to the wall, and work. Okay, we're going to be applying with trowels. So let's go over here real quick. I'm going to talk about trowels. I'm trying to do all this before I start making a mix. Because once you add water to that cement, you're on a time limit. All right. You have a pointing trowel, mason's trowel. All right, a little miniature one, anyways. This is what we're going to use after we're done applying the plaster. You don't want to end with a really thin, feathered down surface. You want to come back and like cut it so it's like a ledge or a cliff. So that way, when you come back the next day, you plaster right up to that. You can't overlap plasters like this and make it look nice. Okay, because you're going to have a ledge somewhere. It's going to get really grainy and rough looking. You want to have the plaster coats come up to each other and meet on the same level. Okay. I don't know if there's any real good examples on this, but like, you know, if this is thick enough that I could put another coat of plaster up to this part and blend that in. But if I tried to just like right here, I wouldn't be able to do that because there's no ledge, there's no cliff surface, okay? And when you do that, wave it. Don't just do like a straight line, because your eye will be attracted to that straight line more than that curve. You'll see it as a flaw later on. Okay. All right, pointed trowels. We're going to use these as the same thing. If we have to, we can just use that and kind of cut. These are mostly for like mortaring small spaces, okay? This is a wood float. We're not going to be using this now. I just wanted to bring out some extra trowels to talk about them. This is, I would use this more for like natural plasters or for like floors, slabs, things like that. I don't really use it for the walls, okay? These are magnesium floats. I use these for the same or similar purpose as the wood float. It gives a different surface texture though. All right, it's gonna be a little bit smoother. I use this for the vault slabs a lot. Okay, it's sturdy. You can push a lot of material around with these. These sponge trowels, they usually have two different versions of these and two different sizes, at least that are common. You have a rough texture and a fine texture sponge trowel. These are great for doing that coat right before your finished coat of plaster, because it leaves a rough texture that you can then put the next coat on. Also, you can finish with this if you want to, and it'll leave a really rough texture if that's what you're going for. That's really good for painting on too, right? Because it'll grip into it better. Okay. The other version of this is just a little bit longer. I didn't find any of those in our tool container right now. Pull trowels. All right. I think I have 3 different sizes. Yeah. So it's good to have a variety of sizes. This is what's going to give you that smooth finish look. Okay. It's more likely to have cracks when you have a smooth surface though. So you got to be careful with that. And if you overwork it with this, you know how we've been talking about with soils, like the jar test, how the water running down in the wash will move materials, separate it from the heavies to the fines. You're putting pressure on that plaster over and over and over again to push the heavies to the bottom and the fines to the surface, and separate your plaster, and then it'll be really weak and crumble. So you can't overwork it. Okay. All right. I'm always on alert out here. We're in the middle of the Hesperia death. All right, so big ones, great for vertical or larger flat surfaces. Medium ones, good for that too. You're gonna do a lot with this. This one's really good for interior curves. So like this surface here, it's fine to use a big one because you can access it all with this tool, right? But if you're doing like an interior curve, like right here, see how it kind of dips in? It's really hard to get a consistent thickness with a large trowel or something like that. So using the small ones on the interior, really good. You also can get more fine detail with these. Now, when you apply with these, you're going to want to angle it so that you're like this kind of an angle from the wall, right? So like, sorry, all right, and you're gonna glide up, right? And you can sometimes put pressure on the nose also and glide this that helps to kind of like find details, right? This is a skill that takes a long time to develop, so just play with it, have fun. I will suggest that the sponge trowel is probably going to be your best friend. All right, and in your rough plaster, this preps it for this. All right, because if you can get this to go over the entire surface and make a nice, consistent like landscape, then this can go over afterwards on your finish coat very easily too. we'll have trained the wall to be like one flat surface. All right. Okay, always hydrate the wall. Again, start out. You want to like pressure wash it almost. All right. You want to get any dust off, any debris, any loose material. Okay. After that, most of the time you're going to do like a shower, a fan, cone. I don't think I have a mist setting on this one. So we have to be kind of gentle when we are actually plastering. Or right after you plaster, it's still really weak, but it has to stay hydrated. You might need to like turn it on low and like up in the air kind of spray. All right, I'm trying to say all this before we start mixing because I want everyone to hear all this stuff. We're gonna be spread it out kind of quickly. All right, if you have to, spot treat with water. Because like imagine you plastered all this, and you need to fix some up here. If I get some water on this, it's gonna run down and ruin everything I got down here. Again, so just kind of usually start high, work low. In this case, I'm not worried about where you guys start. Try to play with it up high, down low, in the middle, so you get used to all of that. Okay. There are different techniques, but this you can kind of like throw a little bit of water at it every once in a while just to hydrate the spot that you're working on. Okay. Or add it to your glove. Yeah.
Dumb question. When you put it in the bucket, are we grabbing it with our hand first and then you put it on the wall and then you put it on the trowel, or you put it
Yeah,
on the
I'll
trowel
show you.
first?
And like I'm gonna bring it over
Oh, you
and
are
show
gonna
you
do
the
it,
first
okay.
application. I'm just trying to go over a lot of like the theory stuff, and then I'll show you.
Okay.
Okay. But essentially, yeah, you're gonna like grab some. You can put it on the trowel and then trowel it on the wall, or you can toss it on the wall and then trowel a whole bunch at the same time. The main tips I can tell you guys when plastering is don't get tunnel vision. All right, you're gonna look at this one spot and be like, I want this to be perfect. Get this all nice and smooth, and everything else is gonna be too late to do anything with. Just try to get a big landscape first done, and then usually you have time to go back over it, maybe with a sponge to kind of blend it in. All right. Timing is key in a lot of this. We don't have the proper timing because, like, when we add this plaster on, I'm gonna want to come back like midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Come over here and sponge the thing and hydrate it. I'm not expecting you guys to do that. That's part of the reason why a lot of the plaster around here isn't the best looking because it's student work a little bit at a time. All right, it doesn't get hydrated for as long as it should. All right, and then it weakens. It stops getting that strength that I was talking about during soil. Okay. All right, let's go back over here.